What's up, people? See, I can play the game too. And if you clicked on that thumbnail and read the title, and now you're here and you realize that that's probably not what's going to happen. Sorry, but you know, this is how it works. It just is. Um so I'm not going to talk trash. I'm not going to clap back. I'm not going to roast anybody. I'm not even going to say the guy's name. I'm not going to say the name of the video. And I'm not going to do what the intention of that video was, which was to perpetuate drama, because that's not what I do. That's not what I have an interest in. But for those of you that don't know, apparently another YouTuber devoted like the last 5 or 10 minutes of his video to basically dumping all over me for clicks, and included a bunch of other quote unquote anti-woke Warhammer YouTubers in the thumbnail. But it was mostly about me and the 40k Empress, right? Who's actually pretty cool. Y'all should go check her out. But yeah, I don't have any desire to engage with that, right? And the reason I'm making this video is because somebody asked me, hey, why don't you do this? You know drama sells. And yeah, I do know drama sells. That's why I occasionally make drama videos. And they do numbers, right? That's why I create videos when it comes to like 40k controversies, because they do numbers. But I'm not a 40k tuber, quote unquote, right? I'm a YouTuber that happens to like 40k. I'm also friendly with a lot of 40k YouTubers. Marshall Beaumont, friendly with Asmagon, I'm friendly with 40k Empress. You know, these are all people that I've spoken to. And I don't have any problems with any of them. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of creators that I dislike. Not necessarily 40k creators, but just, you know, content creators in general. I don't like Hassan, I don't like Destiny, I don't like most of the left-leaning personalities in the space, especially when it comes to politics. There's a lot of right-wingers I don't like either, right? So I realize that drama does the numbers, right? And then when you start this back and forth with another creator, then it starts doing numbers, and then it gets picked up by other people, and this, that, and the other, and then all of a sudden it becomes this big thing. The closest thing I've ever had to that was whenever I brought up Chapter Master Valrak, when I was talking about not listening to people shilling for stuff. And, you know, my statement included him, not necessarily was directed to him, but I still clarified it with him and went, hey, do you do this? He said, nope. And I went, all right, I was wrong. Right? And that was the extent of the quote unquote drama. Right? And that's about the only interpersonal drama that I've had with any other creators. And I'm never going to do that unless it's something egregious, right? Some dude talking trash on a video for 18 minutes is not worth any sort of mental anguish for anybody, not just for me. You know, if you're new to YouTubing, and it comes with the territory, people aren't going to like you. Not everybody is going to like everything. And you have to come to terms with that whenever you decide to put your toe in the water and say, hey, I'm going to start making YouTube videos. There's going to be people that shit on you. Plain and simple. Especially if you talk about politics at all. Then they're definitely going to shit on you. And that it just comes with the territory, right? In my case, I'm too old for drama. I know I don't look it, right? And the funniest thing that people have is like, oh, he's just dollar store Asmongold, right? I get that all the time because my hair is long and I have a beard and we're both white complexioned. And I'm just like, all right. Okay. All right. Hell, and we both live in Texas, so there's that. But yeah, it's not worth the time or the energy to be upset about it, right? And you can see a lot of that in what it leads to, like with the YouTube commentary community. When you look at people like Nicholas Diorio and Augie RFC and Bo Blacks and all that whole sphere, Tipster, I could keep going. You know, all the interpersonal drama just becomes entertainment. And unless you put yourself outside that sphere, then it starts to screw with your life. You can see that, especially with Bo Blacks. That dude's a hot mess right now. And yeah, it's not worth the money. In my case, this isn't my career. This isn't my job. I do this for fun. I do this to talk to you guys. I'm not trying to sell y'all a Patreon. I'm not trying to get y'all to subscribe. I'm not telling y'all to like my videos. I've said it multiple times. I'm not going to ask y'all for anything. Unless I'm like on my deathbed or something, right? And I'm just absolutely hurting. Then I might do some sort of fundraiser or something. I thought about doing a fundraiser for homeless animals in my area, which I still want to do, and include, my own money in that. But that's not for me, right? I'm never gonna do anything for me. I have a job. I make fairly decent money. I don't need YouTube as a career. When I got demonetized, yeah, I was pissed off because it was for a really stupid reason. But I wasn't hurting for that money, right? Like I'm not using YouTube to pay the rent or anything, or the lights. And a lot of people want to do that. That's what they want. They want YouTube as a career. They want, to be e-famous or an e-celebrity, micro-celebrity, whatever you want to call yourself. And there's so many people that odds are you're just going to be another drop in the bucket like I am. And that's why there's no point in me engaging in drama with some random dude on the internet that has about the same amount of subscribers as me, because I'm not going to gain anything from it, right? There's no profit here. And yeah, it'd be funny for me to shit all over him, which I absolutely could do, but I don't need to. I don't want to. And even though it would get me views, it's more of a headache than it's worth, to be honest. So I know a lot of people were expecting me to be like jumping up and down and up in arms. I think it's actually kind of funny that somebody took their time to put me in the thumbnail and basically talk shit about my videos and how I look and everything else. And it's, hey, if you want to send more traffic my way, be my guest. I'm okay with it. So yeah, there's the long and the short of my quote unquote clapback video. And yeah, if you're here because you're expecting me to start a whole bunch of drama and a whole bunch of mess, it's just not going to happen, right? In fact, I spend more time trying to avoid drama, which technically makes me an easy target, right? Because if somebody's talking trash about me, I don't really react. I don't really care. And yeah, that's not on the menu for my channel ever, and it never will be. Because I just like talking about things that I think are interesting. That's what I do. I started out as a League of Legends channel, and then I kind of moved over into Let's Plays, and then I started talking a little bit more about Warhammer stuff, which then it really took off, and then I started talking about politics. I'll talk about whatever I think is interesting, or whatever I find entertaining at the time. Just like my video about the whole Elon Musk Ubisoft Hassan beef thing that happened yesterday. I thought it was funny, so I made a video. And that's why my uploads and my streams aren't consistent, because if there's nothing to talk about, then I'm not going to just make something to keep the revenue flowing. You know what I mean? Because I don't have to do that. And it's actually better for me, because then I don't get burned out like I was starting to when I was putting out videos like every other day. And it lets me focus on my activities that actually matter outside of YouTube, and just kind of be here whenever I want to be here. So thanks for watching, everybody. Until next time, avoid the crazies on the internet, because all they're going to do is, cause you stress.